So I was really very nervous. Let me not even lie. I was nervous about it. I was the first person among my friends that got married, So there wasn't really anybody to talk to, among them to say, okay, well, what do you think about this? And I was 24 now, no job, nothing. So it was really, really scary. So I wasn't like, oh my God, all of that. And even if, let's say, maybe if I had the, the romantic mood, then maybe I would have, oh my God. But I didn't have that. I didn't have that. And I'm happy I didn't have it, because I'm not a romantic person. I would have just entered the ground. I would have just done something very silly, and but anyway, that's a story for another day. But yeah, I didn't have that, oh my God, now I'm getting married. I didn't have that feeling. Yeah. So how about you? Did you have that, oh my God? Did you have that kind
For me, honestly, as you were talking, it was just like you were telling the story of my life, because it was the same for me. When I met my husband, when I was even in my 400 level university. I've not even done NYSC. Like, although I started working since I was in 200 level, so I had my independence, as at that time. But when I met him, before him, throughout my university years, I made up my mind that I was not going to date anybody. Like, I just wanted to focus on my studies, because I had a goal. Like, this is the grade I wanted to come out with, and I also had a job. So I basically I was working from 8 to 5, and I was schooling from 5 to 10. So I literally had no time in my life for any relationship, and I decided that I didn't want that distraction. So when I was in my 400 level, I remember I was still writing my final year exam when he slid into my DMs and the whole story. If you want to hear it, go and watch the videos in my channel. Anyway, so when he came to me, and then we're just friends, okay, long distance friendship. Although I knew, like, I have this sense to know when a person wants to approach me and how to back off, But yeah, I knew this was his agenda, but I gave him time. I allowed him to land. So after a few months of being friends, just talking and all of that, I realized that I started catching feelings, okay? And eventually he came out clean and told me, hey, he wanted to, he liked me and whatever. And my husband did not tell me that, oh, let's date. No, he told me right from the first day that I want to marry you. Like, this is what I want. And he also wanted to get married that year. And I was just looking at him, I'm like, good. I mean, yeah. And I liked him, okay? The years of us being friends, I've got to realize the kind of person he is. And I prayed a lot about the man I want to marry. So because I knew his agenda, and I also knew the kind of man, based on my own personal time with God, the kind of man that I knew, or I had, like, God had revealed to me in certain ways, that this is the kind of husband that I would marry, and the kind of husband I wanted. I could see a lot of those qualities in him, like a lot of those, even the most minute one. Like, I always, since I was a child, I always dreamt of, marrying a man living in Abuja. Like, that's how detailed I was. Like, that's how detailed I was. And this was when I was a child, though. Like, so there were just a lot of things about him that really, really showed me that this might be the person. But for me, marriage was, in short, I was one of those people that, even though I was doing 26 years, when I got to 200 level or 300 level, it changed, because I remember a discussion I had with my friends, and I told them that if I'm not 30, I'm not getting married. Like, I felt like 30 is the ideal years, because I still had, just like you, I had ambitions, I had goals and everything. So let me not go too much into that. So eventually, when he asked that, okay, he likes me and he wants to marry me, like, that was it. It didn't even sugarcoat everything. And this was the first time of him asking me out. My first reaction was, never. Ever is this going to happen, because I am not ready for marriage. Like you also, my sister she didn't even have a boyfriend. So my elder sister, so what is the hurry? Why am I in a hurry? So I told him that, you have a timeline. And for him, he's the firstborn of his family. I already explained this. His younger brother, was already married with 2 kids. So you can tell that he was pressed for time. Even though he didn't really put much pressure on me, he just liked me and he wanted to marry me. And I told him that Isha, I told him that first give me a minute because I was going to shoot an interview with I remember Victoria Michaels. So I told him, you know what, just give me a sec, just wait, I can't think. Okay, so I remember that whole day I was thinking and thinking. I'm like, married, this year. He said, okay, that if I can't do this year, let's do early next year. I'm just finishing school. I'm not done NYC. I'm not done anything. Like, how do I tell my mom? And just like your dad, my mom was also this person that, you know, I always say she's the one I learned independence from. Like, she always tells me that before you meet a man, make sure that you have your own. Like, that's how we were brought up. You know, that always make sure that, you know, you pursue your dreams and everything, have your job, have your this, have your that, before a man comes into the picture. So these are ideologies that she has imbibed in me. So even the fear of telling my mother that, hey, marriage, like, we're like, so everything was just very confusing for me. And I remember when I came home in the night after I was done with the interview, I told him that I'm not sure that I can do this, because throughout that day I was distorted. My thoughts was just here and there. So that interview I did that day was just, my mind was not there. I was just like, I was so troubled in my heart because I didn't know how much I liked him until that moment. I realized that, wow, I really, really like this guy, and I really, really don't want to let go. But I am also not ready for marriage. But I just told him that, listen, no, it's not going to work. I'm not ready for marriage yet, and I don't want to hold you back, and what. And he asked me that, why? And I told him that there's still a lot of things I wanted to achieve and all of that, and I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel like I've gotten to the place I want to get to yet to start talking about marriage. And I remember that day he told me that, he made a statement to me that actually made me start thinking. He said, do you know that, you know, everything you want to achieve, that you think would take you 5 years to achieve, like, God can actually make it happen within a year, like, if we actually commit ourselves into this. I'm like, yeah, I'm a Christian, I believe, I have faith, but I don't think so. So I was like, I don't think so. But he was like, you know, where's your faith? What? And I said, okay, just give me time to think about it. That was July 1st. The following day was my birthday. That's why I can never forget every single thing that transpired. I remember the following day we went for a church service, and just like you, I started seeking for validation. I also started looking at, okay, who among my mentors got married earlier and stuff like that. And I remember there's this couple, there's this one couple, like, I love them so much. Sister Yemi, if you're watching this, you know I love you, but I love those couple. They also got married. They were newlyweds at that time, and they were like a mentor to me. So I remember that morning, early morning, I was asking them, and, you know, what do they think about, number one, about meeting your husband on Instagram and then getting married at like, they were just a lot. See, this was not even easy for me, because it's a person I've not even seen. So what if I see him and I don't? There were just a lot of questions in my head. But, you know, thankfully they were able to help me, you know, understand that you have to look beyond, you know, the surface and just think deep. Is this the kind of person that will support you? Is it the kind of person that, you know, you see yourself spending the rest of your life with? Is he God's will for you and stuff like that? And yeah, and you know, they kind of made it settle. Then we went for prayers, and I just felt this peace within me. And to me, that's usually a confirmation when God wants me to go for something. And I said, okay, God, I like this guy, I'm not ready, these are my plans, you know it already, but I'm going to give it a try. But if this is not what you want for me, one way or the other, you must destroy this relationship before it gets too big. So eventually, don't let me go too deep. So I knew that there was one person's validation I needed, and that was my mom. And I told God, I remember that morning I prayed and I said, God, I'm going to tell my mom about this guy today, and whatever my mom says, that is final. So I remember that day I was going to work. I called her in the morning and I told her that there's this guy, and in my life I've never ever told my mom about a guy, like, it's ever. So she knew that if I'm talking to her about this person, it had to be important. And I was expecting her to say, how old are you? You're not ready yet. But she was like, her first response was like, okay, give me his name, give me his she asked for certain things about him, and she said, give me a week. I knew my mother. I knew my mom. Oh, there were a lot of drama that happened, especially when she found out how we met and stuff like that. But I didn't give her that gist at that time. I just told her about the guy, and she was like, give me a week. And I was like, okay. You don't want to know what my mother did during that week. Like, she did some dramatic things. I promise to talk about that issue in another video, but yeah. So she prayed about it, and in her own way, it was revealed to her that it was okay. And then she called me and she said, go ahead, like she's fine with it. And I was like, okay. I was expecting that she'll be the excuse for me not to go ahead, but you know, so I just felt like if God would, you know, so to me it was never an excitement thing. It was more or less like, if this is your will, God, I'm doing this because, you know, I have peace in it. But you know, if this is not what you want from me, you have to look for a way for me to escape from this. But yeah, so, and then also the person, and he also had a lot of role to play in letting me know that, you know, he's not a person who wants to, you know, I already talked about, you know, how he asked me to be his girlfriend, like the whole close your eyes thing. If you want to watch it, go and watch the video of how we first met. And then and you know, he always told me that, you know, I'm here to support you. If you don't succeed or if you don't achieve your dreams, it will not be because of me. And I remember there was this, honestly, and he has proven true over the years. Like when I had to travel out, we already had our wedding planned. Like it was like, okay, he has met my family, we'd have talked and everything, and then I had to travel out. And I remember, like, I was skeptical, like, how will I tell this guy I've already committed to marriage, but this is something I really want. And I remember when I told him, he told me, I promised you that if there's anything you wanted. So all of those things, and that's just one of the other ways that he has proven that, okay, follow your dreams, pursue what you want, and you know, I will not pressurize you. So even though we planned on marrying that year, we ended up waiting almost 4 years, you know, and he was waiting, and mostly I was the one that was causing him to wait. So, and yeah, so he proved that in so many ways to me, and there was not a reason for me to say that, you know, this is not God's will for me. You know, of course there were other whatever. I don't let me go into a lot of things, but yeah, he proved true to his promises, yeah.
No, sorry
Go
to
ahead.
cut you. I like what you said. I like what you said about, you know, your partner giving you that security, that sense of security that, you know what, I'm going to support you, I'm going to support your dreams. And I think that's most important, because we're not going to get married. You're not getting married to the people you're seeking validation from. You're not getting married to them. It's your partner. Everything boils down to your partner. Even if your mom had given you that confidence to go into it, or my dad had given me that confidence, it's still the person you're getting married to. Because there are some people that would tell you that, yes, you can achieve your dreams, you can do all of that. And then you get into the marriage and you realize that it's a different ball game entirely. So I like that your point. And I also like what you said about, you know, praying to see if it's the will of God. For me, I didn't really, you know, emphasize, I didn't do so, I wouldn't say I did a lot of praying per se, but I know, of course, your parents, once you tell them that you're getting married to this person, they are going all out. They're going all out to pray and all of that. But on my own end, I just, at the beginning of the relationship, even before, all the while I was freestyling and I just allowing the relationship to take its course, I said a prayer. Once I meet someone, aside from the people that I know that this person, I don't think this, but somebody that I know that there may be a chance is just a good person, is it, you know, I just say a short one line of prayer that, God, if this is your will for me, let everything just work out, let it just flow and let it work out. And if it's not, let him meet his own person and let me meet my own person, and let it just be fine. We don't need to do a lot of drama, let everything just, you know, and the relationship just continued. So maybe that's the confidence I entered into the relationship with, that I was just, you know what, I'm just here to enjoy the relationship. But anyway, that's just it. So it's very important for, you know, for us to seek the will of God, because marriage is a very important thing. Whether you're getting married young or you're getting married at a later age, is very important. And so we need to really seek the will of God, and of course know the person. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, you can't even take the place of God out of, you know, your life partner, because I always have this thing where even when I want to start a job, I always make sure that I have, you know, even if I got, of course, there's no that voice say go, you know, but I want to make sure that, you know, I commit this to God's will, so that if anything happens, and that's it. Whenever we had any issue that in, like, between the two of us when we're still dating, and he annoyed me or something, when I go to God, I say, God, I told you I was not ready. You are the one who, you better go. You know, because yeah, that has always been it for me. Even in jobs, I tell God, you are the one who said I should go into job. You know, you cannot hold God responsible for something he asked you not to do. So when he asks you to do, you can always go back to him, and that has always been my mentality.
From your conversation, from what you said, there's a question on my mind now, and I feel like there's some people that have that kind of question on their mind. You know, a lot of times when you get married young, you've not achieved anything for yourself. You've not really done anything for yourself. So I'm sure a lot of people will be like, should you trade your ambition for marriage, or should you go ahead and, there's just, how do you balance your ambition and, early marriage? Is there a way to, I don't know, the question just came to my mind, but of course.
Okay, if I'm to answer that, I'm to answer it. So anyway, I think my response to it is that no, don't ever trade your ambition, or don't ever trade your dreams for marriage. No, that was not what I did. Okay, what happened was not that I traded it. It was just that one just came after the other. So I was not getting married to a person that I knew that would box me in a corner, would not allow me to fly, or would not allow me to have to achieve my dreams. In our last video, he talked about it. He knew that I was a very ambitious person before he got married to me. He knew I had drive. He knew I had purpose, and I did not hide it from him. And I let him know that, listen, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to get to. Can you cope? Can we, are you a kind of person that you are okay with stuff like this? And he was 100% fine with it. In short, most times that I even feel lazy, I don't want to pursue things, he's the one always pushing me and driving me. So I did not forego my dreams. One just came before the other, because marriage was also one of my dreams. It's just that the marriage came and my dream followed, even though some of those dreams were achieved before I even got married. But there are a number of things that I'm still looking at, that I wanted to do before I got married, but didn't happen. But those dreams have not been kept in a corner. So if you see a person that you want to marry, let him know your ambition, let him know your dreams, okay? And if you guys can reach a common ground, okay, then go for it. Purpose is important. We are brought in this earth to achieve purpose. Marriage is just one of those additions. So you have to know what your purpose is, and you have to make sure that is your priority. You are pursuing it, and the man you are going to marry should be a part of your purpose. It's not a person that will hold you back from achieving your purpose. No, he should be someone that would, the Bible says that one will chase 1,000, two will chase 10,000. It should be a person that will help you to, chase it, and so that you guys can achieve it fast, and you're also a part of his own purpose. So there are a number of things to consider, aside from exposure and experience and age. You also have to look at, what is your goal? What is my goal? What are we trying to achieve? How can we balance each other? How can I help you? How can you help me? In 5 years time, the person I see myself being, are you the kind of man in that time, or do you see yourself in that time to be a man who will support? I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense. Yeah? 5 years time, do we align? Our goals and our vision, does it align? Stuff like that. So don't ever throw away purpose because you want to marry. No, purpose should be first. Your marriage, your husband should fit into that purpose. That's it for me.
Good. As we were speaking, I was just doing like this. I was just clapping. Honestly, because I feel like it's something we should point out, because some people might get this impression that, okay, we decided to abandon our ambition or our goals because, a man just came and wanted to get married to her, because, of course, the society demands or expects a woman to get married. In fact, in our society, once you finish NYC like this, the next thing is, God should just provide you a job. Some will skip that part of God should provide you a job and just go straight to, God will provide you a man and you start your family, and as if your dreams are. So there are tendencies for you to want to, just forget about the ambitions you have, because even the society will allow you do that, and you'll be fine. So I really love what you said about purpose, because that is big for me, and that is what I'm all about, even on my channel. Like, as a woman, whether you're young or you're old, especially to my young, I want to speak to a lot of younger people. It's okay for you to be ambitious, and it's okay for you to want to be married. It's okay for you to want marriage and also want to fulfill purpose. I just love what you said, that, your goals should align, the values should align, because I think that even from what we've said so far, that for both of us, our husbands have they had the mindset that could accommodate the kind of person we were, the kind of dreams we had. Because, you said, your husband said, it won't be about me. That statement is really profound, because it's rare, trust me. It's rare in this our generation, where we have woke boys and woke girls, and everybody's just working, everybody's working to anywhere, and even as much as they say they are woke, the guys still hold on to the traditional mentality that their ego is still out there, and they don't want. A lot of them just say they are woke. Subconsciously, they still want that lady to be, so submissive. I don't want to use the word submissive, but they still want the lady to just be, I don't know. But then the point is that your purpose, you should see that person in your 5 years. I just love what you were saying. Was just entries in my body. I was like, hey, yes, you're doing well.
All right. So the last question that I'm going to ask, hopefully, is that what was did you have any expectations of marriage, like how marriage would be? Okay, especially so let me just ask this together. Okay, did social media influence your expectation for marriage? Did it ever influence like the kind of marriage you have, like couples goals, like marriage goals and all of those things? Did it ever help? Did it ever affect your expectations? And if it did, what was the reality like?
Okay. If I say that social media did not really influence my judgments, my expectations going into marriage, that would be a lie. Because I'm always on Instagram, I was always on Bella Naija and all of that, I enjoy marriage, I enjoy weddings, I love going out. I was always going to people's weddings, so social media did a little bit, but then it didn't play a major role into what my expectations were. I wanted the person that would allow me be free, that would allow me do things that I wanted to do, that would allow me just focus on my ambition. I didn't have any of those open the door for me. Yes, I liked the idea of all of those things. If somebody opens the door for me, of course I would, walk inside the car and relax. I love to be well taken care of, relax and be taken care of, that kind of life. But then it wasn't really big for me. Like I said, I saw a lot of my experiences shaped my mindset. So my experiences had a strong hold on me much more than what I saw on social media. So I didn't see all of those romantic things, around me. I didn't see them. So I didn't have that kind of expectations going into marriage. I just wanted somebody that would allow me to be free, somebody who would manage my my excesses and all of that. But I love the idea of what I see on social media. I love it. So my expectation going into marriage and the reality was not so much. It wasn't really, there was not a big difference. Of course, when you get into the marriage, it's always different. You're going to see some differences, but it wasn't so, the difference wasn't that much. It wasn't that much for me. So yeah, so how about you? Because you are even supposed to answer this question more, because you are the fresher into this thing. So
okay, for me, social media, definitely. The reason is because I'm always on social media. I work on social media, like even my full-time job. So I am always there. I always see these things, okay? However, the person that I married, okay, he's the kind of person that if everybody's facing here, he'll face here. No, he's the kind of person that the fact that everybody's doing it is enough reason for him to want to do it another way, okay? So he's not the kind of person to follow the crowd or to do what everyone is doing because of what. So I knew him. I knew that, see, if this is a big turn off for you, this probably should not be the person you'll be marrying, okay? And I remember that there was a time that I saw this wonderful proposal. Oh God, like the flowers, the candles, the romanticness, like, and I wanted something like that, or I thought I wanted something like that. I craved for something like that, okay? So I sent him the video on Instagram, and it's not usually on Instagram. So I sent him a message. I'm going to check your Instagram DM, and he said, I was like, oh, that's nice. I'm like, yes, it is nice. You know that kind of soft way of telling him that. Number one, my husband did not even see the reason why I should propose, because before we even started dating, I told you that I wanted to marry you. I've met your parents, you met my parents, we started planning wedding. Like, why should I propose to you? I already know you marry me. Literally, like, I want to share my proposal story, but there's not much story into it, okay? So yeah, it wasn't something that he actually proposed to me the night before I traveled out. So it was more or less like, take the ring so that they would know that you have somebody. So it was never a, oh, will you marry me? You are marrying me, whether you like it or not. He always says it like, if you don't marry me, you won't find us back. Like literally. So it was like, I already know I'll marry you. Like, why do you need this? Like, and he's not a person that, he does not like it when you seek validation. However, I had to let him understand that even though this is not a need for me, I'm a woman. I love it when you surprise me. I love it when you know you do something out of that is spontaneous, something that shows your affection for me. He does those things, I mean, in his own way, okay, but not in the general way. It's just, before you can convince my husband to do something the way everybody is doing it, you must you will really present your case, like present it very well. So I already knew that this is the kind of person I was marrying. So when I see those things on Instagram, I always manage it. I always like tell myself, this is not going to happen, okay? But you know, at a point, you know, I realized that, see, I cannot be all my life in school, I was always serious. I was always, you know, schoolwork. My marriage cannot be boring like that. Like, I need spontaneity in my marriage. And there was a day I called him and I told him that, hey, this is not a reason for me not to marry you, but I really would love it, you know, if you do stuff like that, like surprise me and all of that. And he was like, okay, this is not the kind of person I am, because in our first video I mentioned that my husband is a very masculine person. They have 4 boys. He didn't grow up with any girls. The only girl in their house was his mother. So she was a teacher. So she was like a man. So yeah, he has always been a masculine person. He does not know a lot about women, emotions and stuff like that. He didn't know much of those stuff. So I had to let him know that, listen, this is something that I would like for you to do every once in a while. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try. And he has been trying. Like when we're dating, then long distance, there was never a time that he would come to me that he doesn't have a gift, you know, to give to me. You know, sometimes he would send, well, that one happened only once, you know, he would send something on my birthday. Mostly he would buy the birthday gift, or when he's coming to Lagos, he will bring it. But he would send, why? But once in a while he will write poems, because he used to do a lot of poem writing. It's one of the things he used to catch me. Anyway, so yeah, he would write poems like just randomly and post it on the status. Like sometimes there was a day he posted me on Facebook. I'm like, are you sure your account was not hacked? So he just does those things little by little. But he always tells me that don't make it an expectation, okay? Don't make it a, I don't know, something that you always expect. I will trust it's possible to do those things, but you know this is not me, and it will take time for me to get to there. So yeah, so he was willing to make those sacrifices, you know, for him to be able to, you know, help me out, and from him to be able to make me feel good, take me out, we'll go on dates and all of those things. But it's not a usual thing. So when I see those things on social media, I also evaluate it with the kind of man I'm marrying. And I know that there are certain things that I should not even be thinking of. Like even doing YouTube video, I used to joke in my channel that you don't know what goes on behind the scene. Even though he's always there to support me and all of that, but yeah, it still requires a lot of prepping and a lot of hyping, you know, for you to get him, because he's not that kind of a person. People always say our first video together and you know, and subsequent videos were like different, because that is not him. But he had to learn some of those things just because, you know, of the kind of person that I am. So yeah, so yeah, that's, I don't allow social media. Social media, I can't, like, it cannot happen, it cannot work. Not the kind of man I'm married. So yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. And it kind of, there's something that, from what you said, something came to my mind. And like I said, I'm not really a romantic person, and my husband and I, we didn't connect on that kind of romantic. I'm a very friendly person. I talk, I gist, I laugh. I'm very free, but I'm not the type that, you know, you would call me every day and I'll be happy about it. Like, I remember, you know, when I used to, my previous boyfriends, I don't want you to call me every day. What do you, I don't like it. Don't call me every day. You know, call me when give me room to miss you. That's the kind of person, like, don't call me every day. Don't ask me, you know, the way people will call, have you eaten? I've eaten. Calm down. I'm okay. like I said, I just buried a lot of emotions. Like, I'm not the emotional kind of person, and so we connected based on the fact that he also loved his own space. He loved his individual person, and that was how we connected. I love my space. He loved it. So when we call each other, we talk every day, but not calling. We chat, we check up on each other, but not calling every day. How are you eating? Like, we just share things that are happening. We used to play games, we used to do a lot of things, but It wasn't like calling every day. So we connected on that level. But going into marriage, he knew that we need to do more than this, and he was willing. That's another thing. And I like what you said about, your husband saying that this shouldn't be an expectation of her. He's going to put in the effort. He's going to try his best to make you comfortable, make you happy, fulfill those dreams, those fantasies. Because, of course, like you said, you're a woman. And I know I'm one in a million women. My own case is different, so let me just be on my own level. But then when we got into the marriage, I also knew that we need to do more, not because I'm a romantic person, but just to keep the spark alive in the marriage. So he was willing to move beyond that unromantic level, but me, I was just dragging. Like, I remember that, like, this past Valentine's Day, he took me out. Apparently he had planned the day he wanted to do surprise, and that was when I even actually got to my first proposal, the kneel down, romantic, all those kind of it was this past Valentine. And he planned it for our 5-year anniversary, which was supposed to be last year, but COVID happened and I'm in China. Nobody's going to go out during that time, so we didn't get that. So he bought a new ring, he prepared, he planned, but that didn't happen. So this Valentine, it was just all over the place. Oh, we have to do vows, we have to do this, we have to do that. I was like, okay, yes, we'll do. I try my best, but I know that I'm not a romantic person. But I like the fact that he's willing to, do the best to make the marriage work, and even it makes me happy. But it's not like I'm going to, if he's not there, something is wrong with this marriage. No. So yeah, I like what you said about, it's not really an expectation, but he makes you feel good. It keeps the marriage alive. And the fact that you spent the best part of yourself, focusing on your career and all of that, it's allowed for you to want to loosen up and all of that. So yeah, that's true. And one point that you said that I think is important for the audience, your audience, and everybody else watching, that know the person you're getting married to, know your partner, and just not to lower your expectations, not to, but you can walk around it, find a way to reduce your fantasies, and then express it to the other person. Let the person know that, okay, this is what I like and what I don't like, but don't pressure them to do things the way you want it. They can still be romantic, maybe not the way you want it. They can still express. Of course, like they say, we have different love languages, so it will take time. And yeah, like it took us 5 years to be able to do our own proposal. So but eventually it happened. It's the truth. Eventually it happened. I got it. If it was one of those things I wanted, I got it now. I have it now. And so, because you don't have it at the beginning stage of the relationship, of your early marriage, doesn't mean that, the marriage is, no, you would eventually have it if you're getting married to the right person.
Communication is very, very key. Communicating what you expect is very, very important, because I got to realize that there are a lot of things we feel, or at least I know in my own experience, that we women will feel like they should know. But the truth is, men don't know. And there are certain things that he would do, and I'll be like, or something, I'll just be angry for no, and he'll be like, you just be, so there are certain times that, I'll just be upset, and because I expected him to do something that I had not communicated to him. And he'll be like, I don't read minds, okay? You have to let me know these things. So yeah, you need to let him know. And that was it for me. When I realized that this guy, when it comes to women, is almost clueless, okay? So I have to, anytime I something I like, I send it to him. And even though if I'm not saying anything, I'm sending him a message passively for him to know that, okay, these are things that I like, okay? Even when it came to the kind of ring that I wanted, for my insurance, don't even let us go into that. Yeah, because I realized that I didn't communicate to him the kind of ring I wanted in our engagement, and he ended up getting me something I didn't like. So, I eventually grew to like, but at that time, that was not what I wanted. But because I didn't communicate it to him, on our wedding day, I made sure that I gave him a picture perfect, of what I wanted. Yeah, so yeah, communication is very key. Communicate your expectations, communicate your fantasies. Yeah.
This point is actually very true, because my first year of marriage, I struggled. Oh my God. My first year of marriage is the worst. Like, if somebody had called me in that first year and told me that, okay, what do you think about early marriage? I'll tell the person, don't get married early. Take your time. Like, my first year of marriage was something else. And it was because I didn't know how to communicate. My communication skills was like zero. I used to talk a lot. I talk a lot. I gist a lot, but I don't communicate. And like I said, is it's because I bottled down a lot of emotions. That's like an entirely a different topic, but then I didn't know how to communicate. My husband is the kind of person that if we have an issue, we talk about it now. Me, I'll be quiet. That silent treatment, I know how to do it. Like, and I'll be expecting, and every time I tell him that you're very insensitive, but I don't say what I want him to be sensitive to. Like, you're very insensitive. That's always my cue. And well, anyway, so communication in early marriage, you will need it. You will need it. That's true.
Anyway, yeah, so guys, thank you so much, Yemi. This has been so exciting. I really, really enjoyed the conversation, and I hope you guys also did. We'll be going over to Yemi's channel now to go and watch the part 2 to talk about the pros and the cons of early marriage. So please, you guys, as you're leaving here, if you think the gist as that, if you think this was interesting and the gist was nice, go over to our channel. You have to go over to our channel and go and enjoy more of this conversation. Okay, so we're talking about the pros and the cons of early marriage, and yeah, just talking, also sharing our experiences. So yeah, guys, you don't want to miss this. Go over to Girl to Mom and go and watch the part 2 of this video. Thank you again for joining me. Thank you so much, Yemi. I am so grateful. Thank you for sharing with us. And yeah, to you guys, remember to subscribe. Remember to subscribe. Remember to like. Remember to leave a comment. And remember to share this video. And you never can tell who you'll be helping. And remember to go to Yemi's channel and also subscribe to her channel. I promise you, you're gonna learn so much. Okay, so yeah, I'll see you guys in Yemi's channel. Okay, bye.